Welcome to BreitWerks. So today we're working on putting new fuel injector holders and fuel injector seals in a CIS system. And this is relevant because Porsche put CIS on cars from 74, 73.5 to 84 and about 10,000 cars per year. So over 100,000 911s had the CIS system on it. Now, when you are replacing the fuel injector holders or the fuel injector seals, a lot of people just replace this seal on the outside of the fuel injector. And they say, oh, that's all we have to do. Well, any air that gets through here into the engine that's unmetered, in other words, if you have an intake leak, the car doesn't like that very much. And what happens is this is a brand new one, and this is what came out. Now there's actually a seal right here, believe it or not. It's all gummed up, caked up with stuff, and it's about hard as a rock. The only way to get it off that holder, which is some kind of a phenolic, is to cut it with a razor blade. But we're not going to reuse these. These things are relatively cheap, so we get new ones. So you have two seals that you actually end up replacing. Now when you do this, you punch this guy out from the bottom of the intake runner. All right, so you push it out in this direction, and when you do that from the factory, they come staked. So you see these three little dimples here, and what you have to do, let me see if I can get a close-up, what you have to do is you have to sand those things off, grind those things off, do something gentle. I use a sanding roll on a Dremel set to the lowest speed possible because we don't want to open that hole up because we could possibly introduce more air leaks. So here's one that has been lightly touched up just to remove those little burrs. They call it staking. And what we're going to do now is I use something called Molly Coat on these rubber seals to make them go easier. I think it came off of the space program, or at least we like to say that down here on the Space Coast. Everything came from the space program. But we're going to roll this guy. I roll it from the top. From the bottom, you got a lot of lips that you would have to clear. So just take it and roll it right over the top. And now it's in its home. And what we can do is simply press that guy in. And I have found around the shop different tools to push those in, but believe it or not, this little punch has a very nice taper here. We're not going to use the punch part, we're going to use that taper, and we just push this guy in, and he's going to give you resistance because that rubber seal doesn't really want to go home, but now it's in. Now you have to restake those. So you can use a little punch, and I always pick the 3 spots in the middle of where the other stakes were. And I've already done one here, so you can see this one's been restaked with new stakes. So assembled with the new, it's called an outer seal on the injector holder. So now we take the injector, which has been cleaned, ultrasonic cleaned them, soaked them in Gibbs and blew some stuff through them to make sure the spray pattern was good. So we'll reuse these and grab a little bit more of this Molly Coat, get it on our finger, and put it on this fat little seal. And this one, the challenge is not to get it to roll. You want it to slide. That's why we used enough of that Molly Coat that it will just slide right down the injector and pop into its little spot. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our staked injector holder, and then this guy presses right in like that. Spin it to make sure we have a good seal, and now we have both the outside of the injector holder and the inside where the injector is sealed up, so that when this guy bolts down to the cylinder head, it should be leak-free and good for many, many years of fun. So there you have it. Don't just replace the fuel injector seal. You have to also do the outer seal to make sure that you can be leak free and not have to worry about a lean condition on your engine. So with 100,000 of these things out there, these little tune-up techniques can save you a lot of time and effort, and money too, for a poor running engine. Check us out at BreitWerks.com. Thanks for watching.